right? So Shrek 2, a donkey and a dragon, got together. Let me just say that I think other donkeys and dragons got together. So here it is. I've got a figure that you just you just gotta see. Right. So right. So here's the story. A few Christmases ago, I was out looking for presents, and I walked into a dollar bill store, and I bought some dragons. If you did not know, I painted a few of these dragons, and I made some videos of it. So if you want, you can check out the videos, which are up here. I've done three dragons, and I've saved the best one, which I think is the best one for last. At least in this first series of four dragons, this one's the last one. Um, when I first saw this dragon, I thought to myself, "Oh my god, that's an ugly looking dragon." And let me just say that the first time I saw it, and it was on the shelf, there were like rows and rows of this dragon, right? And there wasn't anything else. So I was like, wow, what? That's ugly. Now, if you walk into a dollar bill store, especially here in Southeast Asia or at least Asia, you're gonna see a lot of knockoff miniatures, and occasionally, right? Occasionally, you've got you get toys and figures which are like combinations of different toys, and this one looked exactly like something that you would get if somebody had combined two toys together. So I didn't buy it. I walked away. I didn't buy it. But I kept thinking, I kept thinking about this figure. I was like, ah, man, that's a beautiful figure in its own way. Because uh, we deal in fantasy, so it's not common that we have a figure that's truly fantastical. Because all the dragons been taken, all of the different political creatures have been taken, half man, half ox, half bull, and a half, half wolf, half man. But this one was something. This one was something. So what happened was, I went back to the Dollar Bill store, and would you believe it? It was gone. There were, there were no more. And this was a few days after Christmas, so I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, a lot of kids in that area, right, got this really looking figure, and I was sad because I couldn't find it. I was like, oh no. Uh, I asked the shop assistant, if well, where did all the dragons go? And he was like, oh, dragons sold out. And it was really horrible because after seeing dragon for the very first time, all I could do was just think about it, just how I just knew I had missed it, right? Anyways, New Year came along, and I went back to the store hoping to find something, and there were a whole bunch of other dragons, a whole new range of dragons, and that broke my heart. It broke my heart because I knew that I'd never find this dragon again, right? So I left it at that. I looked everywhere, and let me just say you, let me just tell you that this knockoff figures or dollar bill figures come from a manufacturer which honestly I don't know whether it exists. I couldn't find it anywhere, right? So, but I knew the chain stores that were carrying it. So occasionally, ever so often, I'd walk into the same brand chain store, and I'd hope to find it. So for about like maybe maybe 8 months, I'd walk in there, 50-50, then it was 30 20 30 30 70 20 80, hoping to find the figure, and as the months go by, you knew you're never gonna see it again, and then and then I walk into one of these stores, right? And there it was. There it was. So that's the story of this figure. But let me just say that yeah, I was it's one of those figures I did not think I'll be out looking for a figure. Uh most figures you can actually get. You just buy and you get, right? Unless it's of course an old figure or collectible figure. But this dollar bill figure, I mean dollar store figure, I looked and I found it. So yeah, you wanna see it? Here we go. Right. So this is it. This is it. I don't know if you can see it. You won't be. I'll zoom in on it. So what it is, again, it's a combination of a. It looks like an Oriental dragon, and the legs look like maybe a horse's leg. I'm gonna call it a donkey's legs. That way, in the thumbnail of this video, you know, I can call them a donkey. I think that's what it's called. They're called dronkies, man. I did not know. Check your monster manuals. You won't find a donkey anywhere. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna paint this. I'm gonna paint this again. I know it's not important, but I'm just gonna say it's done by Joy It. Joy It. And this is the Dragon Dom content figure. Okay. You can't really see this, right? But let's zoom in. Let's have a look. All right, so let's have a look at this. Ew. Yes. Actually, no, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty fantastical. I think, yeah, it doesn't look that bad. It's just when the first time you see it. Okay, let's crack this open. Let's crack this open. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so they decided to go with the gold um, and red. I think I won't. I think I won't stray very far from the colors that they're suggesting. I think because I really want to emphasize that this is you know a dragon donkey, a donkey. I'm gonna go with some browns for the legs, exactly like donkey's legs, and then because the reds will be probably in the palette, so I think browns to reds, maybe some oranges, leading up to the yellows, would be the way for me to go. But have a look at that. It's definitely the Oriental dragon. I actually painted an Oriental dragon, so if you want to have a look at what Oriental dragon looks like, that I painted, you can actually have a look at that one. I don't know if I'm gonna go with a whole bunch of different colors in this, but actually, you know what? Let's give this figure some credit. It's a nice looking figure. It's nice. I don't know if it's in any monster manual. There should be a donkey in the new monster manual. So here's looking at you, monster manuals of the world. It's not bad. It's bad. So what should I go for here? It looks the painting as usual is rubbish, but yeah. Okay, so that's what it looks like before it's done. I'll probably yeah, yeah. Let's get painting. All right, so I gave the figure a nice blast of well, not really well done though, but a nice blast of pure red, Army Painter's pure red spray. And this will be the base I'll work from. So because the undercolor is red, this whole figure might have a nice fiery look to it. I should have gone in there, but never mind. But as you can see, once you've primed it, you can actually see a lot more detail happening. Yeah, it's not such a bad because it's got some bit of fangs. I want to show that. But it's got this nice like lip thing, which I see in a lot of Thai dragons, which I might want to emphasize if possible. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Hopefully, what I might do, I might actually work some green into this and make this into like a plant-ish green, and I might use the back as some yellow. So it's all about taking a chance on this. So there'll be browns working up to reds, some yellows at the back, and some greens working up to the greens, because the last Oriental dragon I had some fins, and this one doesn't have. Well, it does. I can actually do the fins. Let me see where does the fin start. Oh yeah, okay. So it starts. Yes, okay. So it starts with the head. So yes. So it'll be and a green spine happening towards the center. Wow. But yeah, come on, monster nomicons of the world, drunk, drunkies at the drunkies. Right. So looking at this figure, I gotta say, the initial colors of gold and red, I think they were onto something with the gold and the red. And I think also if you were to do this in mass, these are two simpler colors to use. What I want to say though is the bottom part of the Tronky, there is some a lighter color which I can't really show here for some reason. The figure actually looks a bit disproportionate, so with the extremely large head. But I think if I were to work a little bit more for the face or the head, right? Give it more color, give it more character. Maybe go for a more evil-ish kind of look. Perhaps this will work. Yeah, but think I will stay away from the golds. I'll stick with the plan: the browns, the yellows. So what happened was I did this figure in about 3 hours. So first off, I put on all the in the first hour. I just laid out the basic color. I worked on the head a little bit. I worked on just the basic look. Then in the second hour, I added on a little bit of more of the washes. This is more or less a wash dry brush, job. Something really really cute. I didn't want to spend too much on it. I finished off the base and the figure in the third hour. I found a base that was actually printed. It's got a little blue plant on it, which actually adds a little bit of color. So inadvertently, I've made this figure into something rather pretty. Um, I tried using different colors, and I like the way it turned out. It's got a nice mixture of different kind of colors. But I went for more emphasis on the face, the very strong contrast between, the whites, and the reds, just so you can see the face proper. Um, like I said, it's a 3 hour job. I'm very glad I did it. To be honest, it doesn't look too bad. It does not look too bad. The things you do, the things you do, the things you paint, right? It's I love this hobby. I love this hobby. There's so much humor sometimes in this hobby. And I think when I first started getting into the whole miniature painting, the whole miniature world was fun. It was funny. Anyway, the orcs were funny, space orcs were funny. All the miniatures that were coming out, were either caricatures or something, or they had this like really strange. It's not even a European fantasy look. It's just bizarrely strange, and it's funny looking figures. I mean, if you look back at you know figures from uh the grim dark future, you'd see some really funny figures, because that's what figures are for back in the day, right? We'd get them out, we'd find them amusing, we'll pay for them and paint them. Things have gotten really serious lately. Grim dark has become grim dark. And a lot of fantasy figures are really pushing the whole uh fantasy uh look. Things are looking even more fantastical than what it used to be. Even science fiction stuff are looking even more science fictiony, if I can say that. And the sculpts are getting really 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 good, right? Really fantastic sculpts. And even the European whimsical looking figures, right? Even those are a little bit more serious, which is I think quite a shame. So for me, painting drunk this dragon donkey, a donkey, was fun. Was fun. This is why I painted figures to begin with. To have a good time, and I did. I had a really good time painting this figure. Um, and I'm glad I got to share it with you, because if I didn't have a channel, there would be no way for me to share a find like this, right? So yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this dollar store stuff. Occasionally you find some really good figures with some really good scalps, and then you find this, and they're all just as good. So yeah, hope you like the video. Like, subscribe. If you enjoyed this, buy me a coffee, and don't forget to enjoy painting these figures.